You ready? Okay, hold on. Let me just get this. Gonna play my song. You did? Good morning. Welcome to Boston Black News. I'm your host, Ron Bell. Really good to be back in the studio. It is so good. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there across the country, and particularly in Beantown. Fathers are so important. We need to make sure that we celebrate our fathers, our father figures, because it's so important to us. So I want to give a shout out to all the fathers, all the father figures out there in the city of Boston, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and I want to make sure that we celebrate this as much as we celebrate Mother's Day. And tonight is the night. All right, tonight is the night. 3-0 Boston Celtics are leading the series. And my guess, we're going to kind of, chit-chat about that, right. The Boston Celtics. Right. And we have a special guest in the studio this morning. But the Boston Celtics, let me just say this. It's very historic. We have two black coaches. Oh, so this is so wonderful. Boston Black News, Ron Bell, happy Father's Day. And the Celtics are 3-0. And so, therefore, they go back to Dallas tonight. You can watch it on ABC. You can watch it at the Garden live. There's going to be, I believe it's sold out. I don't know. They were selling them for $18 tickets. So it's really good that we support the Green Machine because they're ready to take off. And my guest this morning, I'm so excited about this. I was reading this brother's story on Instagram, 6-part snapshot of his life, and I said, man, I knew this dude. I knew him growing up, played ball with him, played against him. Right. It was like outstanding, all city, all state, all American, junior college. And I mean, it was just like, it's legend. Smooth the legend. Greg Simpson, welcome to Boston Black News, man. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate, man, you all guys having me today, man. When you reached out to me and, asked me would I come on, Boston Black News and just kind of share and piggyback off the 6-part, I don't know, I want to call it a short story because there's a lot more to the story.
I can imagine, man.
But, I hopped on it and I said, yeah, no problem, Ron. You've been a lifelong friend, man. Like you just said, we played together, played against each other, high school, all that, man, in the city leagues and stuff. So definitely, man, an honor and pleasure to be here. Just want to also reiterate, the Happy Father's Day weekend coming up. Unfortunately, I lost my dad in 2013. Nick Simpson. He worked for the trial courts for about 40 years before his passing, man, Suffolk Superior and Dorchester Court. And I missed the guy, you know what I'm saying? But to all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day, man. And, yeah, we deserve it, too.
But before we go into your story, come on, man, because you know what? Yeah. I watch you on social media, the Celtics, and you be going at it, man. I mean, you really a passionate Celtic Green Machine fan. I mean, you're diehard, brother.
Oh, man, listen, man, this goes back, man. Like, I think, like, when I was watching the Celtics from, like, the late 60s, early 70s, when they had Dean Meminger. I know a lot of people don't even remember his name. But I've been a Celtics fan all my life. I've been a Boston fan all my life, man.
Yeah,
I'm a Boston kid, man. You know what I'm saying? Bromley Heath, JP. I also lived in Mattapan for a little while. And a lot of people don't know that, you know what I mean? But, yeah, man, I love the Celtics, man.
Yeah,
man. And when Banner 18 is definitely getting ready.
Is it going to be tonight?
You think they're going to? This is my motto, man. Don't mess around. Just
take it out.
Take care of business.
Take it out.
Man,
Celebrate at the Garden, TD Garden tonight. We'll have a parade,
that's
all
right.
that.
Absolutely.
Do not play with Kyrie. Do not play with that boy Luka. That's the baddest white dude I ever seen in my life.
Right.
He's that good, man.
No, absolutely.
So anyway, so I hope they win. They have to win. 2 black coaches in the finals. Yeah. Kyrie's my man. I don't care what they say.
Oh, no. Listen, I'm a Kyrie guy, too.
Because you got the Kyrie dribble. You remember I always told you, you always had that, man.
Yeah.
I ain't going to mention his name, but I kept saying you better than doing the pros. You know what I'm talking about.
No, absolutely.
Okay, I ain't going to go over there. But, but yeah, man, I am really excited about the Celtics again because when we were coming up, we're about the same age.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we were coming up, it was boring because the Celtics always won.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
So it was just
right.
like, oh, the Celtics going to win.
Yeah,
You know, when
yeah,
I went off
yeah.
to Cheney in Philly,
Yes,
that's where I went
yes.
to school my
I
first
know,
year.
I know.
My
Yeah.
roommate from D.C., he used to like talk all this trash, and I was like, "Man, Boston Celtics gonna just win. I know they're gonna
Right,
win."
right.
You know,
No
but
doubt.
I'm really excited that you're here today, Greg. Because you
Thank
know
you.
what? When I was listening, reading your story, I said,
Yeah.
"I got to get this brother on the air to tell this story because this is a story that should be a book,
Yeah.
a documentary, because." It's someone who's legendary to me now because you're alive,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it was a turning point in your life,
Right,
Right,
yeah,
and a lot of black men, in particular, go through a lot of stuff we're not aware. So we're going to start off with what you said. It's not. What did he say? Life is not about choice.
It's about chance.
Chance.
Yeah. So that basically like is my mantra, man. You know, because a lot of people, you know, pretty much, you know, when we're, you know, put on this in this world,
Right.
you know, from birth, you know, my opinion and belief is that, you know, our paths are already made out. You know, so, but it's not to say that, you know, as we go along in life, you know what I'm saying, that we can make the choices to kind of navigate where we want to go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if we're making great choices and good choices, more than likely, you know what I'm saying, we're going to, you know, end up with good jobs, with good families, with great opportunities in life, you know what I'm saying? But if we make the negative and bad choices, you know, they can put us in some dark places, you know what I'm saying, which unfortunately happened with me.
Right. So at the beginning, because I really want the audience, our viewers and listeners, to really get a graphic picture of when it went on. Now, I knew you growing up in JP. I knew you growing up Bromley Heath. But when you said Mattapan, because I thought about, because, you know, you know me, you said Mission Hill, right?
Yeah.
But I was born in the South End.
Right.
So there's a lot of parallels, right?
Right.
So just tell us about your childhood growing up and how you handled the ball. How did you become such a good ball handler? No, seriously, man.
Okay. So so when I was born, my parents were living in Jamaica Plain.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where I was born at. Well, I was born in Boston City Hospital, but I was, you know, living in Jamaica Plain from the time of my birth till about 5, maybe 6 years old.
Right.
Then, I don't know, for some reason, my parents moved. Moved to Mattapan, Clockwood Street.
Right.
And you know, so from the age of 5, 6 years old, I'm in Mattapan up until about 12 years old.
Right.
So my time in Mattapan, you know what I'm saying, like I said, a lot of people didn't know that, you know, we lived in Mattapan on Clockwood Street. That street was that was a great time for me too, you know what I'm saying, because that's where, you know, I discovered that, you know, I had a talent of playing not just basketball but sports in general, you know what I'm saying?
remember you had said hockey.
Yeah.
You know, we played every sport, right? Growing up, right?
Right. So you know, I you know, there's a kid that lived across the street from me on Clockwood Street named Kenneth Mills. And he was going to Belmont High. He was in the MECO program. Well, at that time, I think he was in junior high or something like that, but because he was a little older than me. But you know, he should always come home with his sticks and his hockey skates and all this equipment. I said, yo, what's that? You know what I'm saying? So in his backyard, he had like this little hockey rink type of thing. And I would go back there and play hockey with him, man. And that's how I learned how to play hockey.
Right.
And, but, you know, God, you know, just gifted me, man, to be an athlete, man. I played everything: football, baseball, basketball. You know, I tell people all the time, I think hockey was my best sport, but I couldn't play it because, you know, basketball season is at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So I had to choose, you know what I mean?
Right.
But anyways, so yeah, up until, and then let me just mention some guys on Clockwood Street that, you know, the Robinsons, Melvin Robinson.
Oh, okay.
Rest in peace, Dwayne Robinson. Rest in peace, Fred Robinson. You know, I grew up with them. Charlie Cofield, Big Bubba Raymond was on my street. Elliot Clark.
That's an all-American team.
Dana Barrows was a young kid though. Like he's
Right.
about 4 or 5 years younger than me. But Dana was on our street too. But he used to be under us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah. So you know, shout out to, you know, my time in Mattapan. And then, we moved back to JP, to Bromley Heath, when I was about 12 years old. And that's when, I kind of understood the projects, the PJs, man.
Right.
The PJs is different, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The PJs is different.
I like
bro.
development.
Yeah. So, a lot of things going on in the PJs, man. But that's where I think I learned my toughness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, project basketball is a little different, man. We considered, like, Mattapan, like the suburbs back in the day, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but PJs, man, gave me that grit, that toughness. And that's where I kind of owned my skills through my mentor. I'm going to give a shout out to my man, Bobby Jazz Lewis, man.
Oh, yeah.
Jazz
was awesome, man.
Jazz, let me tell you, should have been a pro, man.
Yeah.
Jazz was sweet with it, man. Like, left, right, and that's where, he taught me everything I knew about being a true point guard.
So he's the one that really could. I was talking, because I used to watch Jazz at the RBA.
Yeah, oh, no.
When he said this, how he does, that little shot.
Yeah.
And I said, and you both are from JP. I was like, what's the connection? And Dale used to tell me, you and Smooth, so like, it's so funny, you know.
Right.
And but yeah, Jazz.
Yeah, so Jazz, he's like my big brother, man. Like his younger brother, Gordon Flash Lewis, was my right hand man.
Wow.
My right hand man. So me and Flash was inseparable. It was Flash and Smooth. Anyway, man, we was going through the city, man, tearing it apart.
Wow.
And but Jazz was, like 5 years older than us, and he basically was our mentor, man, and he taught me everything I know. I became close with his family, and I ended up having a daughter with his sister later on, you know, in life, you know what I'm saying? But the Lewises, the legendary family, man, from JP, man, shout out to them, man. So Jazz, he had all the tricks, man, and so one time Jazz broke his hand, and he had a cast on his right hand, his dominant hand, but he still was playing like in leagues and stuff with his left. And so he says, "Man, we're gonna get your left strong." So he just basically took like a rope and tied it like to my, I don't know what he tied it to, but he just kept my right hand off the ball, and so I was playing just left-handed, like in pickup games, like full court games, and that's how it just came.
What a way to learn,
natural, man. But everyone would say, what I'm saying, that my ball handling skills are right up there with some of the best in the world.
Wow. And I agree.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
So the lights get brighter.
Yeah.
You're in Madison Park, freshman.
Yeah.
You didn't play.
Yeah.
Tell us.
So my freshman year at Madison, how I got to Madison, I was recruited from the William Howard Taft Junior High School.
Oh, so you went to Taft.
And I was supposed to go to Brighton, so I think Brighton, they could have some feelings, about that, because the football and baseball coach from Madison, Bill Allen, came to the Taft and recruited me to come there to play football and baseball. That's how good I was in them sports.
Right.
And so I come and I go to Madison, and so my freshman year, I make, the JV team, you know what I'm saying? That was a given, you know what I'm saying? But I was good enough. I played like 6 games of varsity, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no big minutes or nothing like that. Our coach at that time was James Garvin, former Buffalo Braves NBA basketball player. He was my head coach for my first 3 years. So, we went 32, not 32, like 28-0 as a JV. Mm-hmm. So I knew that group, we were special under Bill Thomas. But anyways, moving fast forward through my career at Madison, my sophomore year, you know what I'm saying, now I'm varsity, you know what I'm saying, I'm getting some minutes, you know what I'm saying. And then my junior year is when it takes off, you know what I'm saying. So my junior year, you know what I'm saying, I'm starting to play in a lot of all-star games. I'm getting invited to camps, you know what I'm saying, 5-star camp, all that. My name is getting out there a little bit. And we do well my junior year. I think I averaged about 19 a game. Curtis Brown was my shooting guard in my junior year.
He likes to shoot that shot.
Yeah. And we had Big Nate Jackson, God rest his, so rest in peace, Nate.
And Bobby. Because I remember he locked me up. I gotta get.
I'll get to Bobby. I'm gonna get to Bobby in 1 second. But anyways, we made a tournament my junior year. We got knocked out second round, and so then Okay, my junior year is over. Somewhere during that summer, my coach James Garvin said he wasn't coming back to Madison to coach us. I said, what? I said, who's going to coach us?
Right.
So now going to my senior year, you know what I'm saying? Just around maybe in September, you know, there's this wild, crazy guy, man, running around the hallways. Dennis Wilson, man, Coach Wilson. So you know, I had knew of him, you know, from you know, being like the football coach for the Roxbury Raiders and also for Roxbury High. You know,
Right.
and I should see, you know, I should go to Roxbury High games and see these guys out on the floor doing all these crazy warm-ups and exercise drills and like they were in the Army. I said, yo, this is going to be our coach. I said, man, what, you know, I don't know about this, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyways, man.
And Dennis had a little game too, because he played it for Blue Magic in the RBA.
Yeah, yeah. He actually,
Park. Yeah,
he actually, and I'll tell you a story about that too. But anyways, so we're in my senior year, and you know, coach, you know, we have the, you know, the players meeting and team meeting, and he's saying this and saying that. You know how he talk. He's long-winded too.
Right.
But that's my guy, man. I love Coach Wilson, man. I love everything that him and his brother Harry did for the community, man. Here, you know, with the Boston Raiders and a lot of kids in our city. But anyways, it was a match made in heaven, man. Like me and Coach, we just connected, man. And
good.
And he put the blueprint out. You know, he made me his captain, and the guys followed me, man. Ronnie, let me tell you, man, that senior year was a whirlwind, man. We ran through the city, man. I think we finished, I don't know, I think we had 2 losses in the cities, regular season. We finished with a record overall of about 24-3, I believe. And that team was a special team, and you know, it was I'll give you the starting 5: myself, Willie Rocket Shoes Smith, Earl Taylor, Helicopter, rest in peace, Earl Taylor, my man Tip, Anthony Tippett, who's a firefighter now here in Boston, and my man Roscoe Patterson, man, Big Skull. He was, you know, Skull was like, you know, little Barkley out there, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And he grew fast.
Yeah.
'Cause he was my size at one point. And all of a sudden, I was like, wow. Anyway.
Yeah. So, and then we had a great set of guys coming off. That second unit was tough too, man. You talked about Bobby Quick. We call him Quick because he was quick. He was quick. He was quick for like just stealing, like. He was a thief out there. Like, you put that ball down in front of Bobby Quick, gone. He's going the other way.
Listen, I never forget. That was probably my worst game in my career.
Yeah.
This brother was breathing on me, holding me, playing D, and I was taking the SATs, and I was like, what the heck is going on? I mean, like a glove.
Yeah.
Gary Payton.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right?
Yo.
Right? Okay.
And listen, let me tell you, and you know, our practices, you know, he would guard me, you know what I'm saying? So it was, you know, it made me better though, you know what I'm saying? Because he was tough. He was a tough defender, man.
Woo.
Tough defender. And then just to shout out a couple more guys, my man Tucker, Chris Penn, David Butler, God rest in peace, Raina Ivy. He got killed in a car crash. You know, and Douglas Knowles. I mean, just a great team, man.
Doug's still around, right?
Doug's still around. Curtis Bradford too. Kurt Bradford. I can't forget Kurt Bradford. Right. But that was a great team, man. And we rolled through the states, man. We lost in the city championship that year to our arch rivals Boston Tech, Butchie Wade, my best friend Tony Brown, and and Boo Thompson and all them.
He
guys.
from JP too, right?
Yeah, both them guys. And you know, our other arch rival English was a factor that year. Wayne Steed, Aaron Jones, Dale Robinson,
Tony.
You know, that they were deep, man. And you know, you guys had a good team too. Boston Latin always had a good team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So yeah, the lights. You know, like I said, like now, you know, my name's ringing, man, and people in the office are coming in. You know, I could have probably went anywhere in the country, man. I had offers like, you know, Michigan, Syracuse. I actually could have me and Butchie could have went to Michigan on a package deal, but you know, I had Coach Jim Calhoun in my ear, man. He was the coach at Northeastern at that time, former UConn coach Jim Calhoun. He's like, you know, just come on, man. We got you, man. You'll be my starter as a freshman, blah, blah, blah. You know, not going to get into a whole thing with it. You know what I'm saying? Things didn't pan out. You know, he didn't stick to some of the promises that he gave me. And, I just started pretty much just partying a lot, my freshman year at Northeastern, man.
So is that the turning point, Greg? I mean, okay, because that, like, there you go.
Yeah.
It's about choice.
Yes. Now here comes some choices, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause
right.
Like I said, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just, putting my nose, in the dirt and grinding and staying committed to what I was there for, you know what I'm saying? I just got kind of caught up with just hanging out, partying, you know what I'm saying? He's still playing basketball, but, the parties are, kind of live for me. I'm kind of, digging the parties and the girls and all that, you know what I'm saying?
So it's a double life.
Yeah. So that was my first time, my freshman year in college, sniffing cocaine, man. And I unfortunately, I liked it, you know what I'm saying? There's some things you like in life, man, and they can be bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it started for me, man.
Do you think because of that lie, I would say, being promised to be, you're a legend, you're all-American, all-scholastic, you're all-city, you won the state championship. I think y'all even did a video or something, right?
Yeah, we won the state championship.
Little documentary. And I said, and won the state championship, and I said to myself, is that the reason why? Because you didn't come across as someone hanging out.
Yeah. Well, again, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, when you have a stature and people put you on a pedestal, man, you know what I'm saying? You get it from both sides. The people pulling you this way, the people pulling you that way, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not blaming this on, you know what I'm saying, environment, you know what I'm saying, because it's everywhere, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Again, I grew up basically in the projects, you know what I'm saying? You see a lot of things, you see,
right.
you see, the hustlers and the gangsters and everybody doing
real
their thing,
gangsters.
you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you think about that lifestyle and you look at it, you say, damn, you look like they're having fun. You know what I'm saying? So you learn different things. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff is learned. Before it even becomes like an addiction. You know what I'm saying? Because you see a lot of things. So
was you still going to class at Northeastern?
Yeah, I was still going to class, but then, again, going to class and, participating in classes is different things.
Being there but not there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, my grade slipped. So in order for me, I had to transfer. So in order for me to get back to Division I had to, go to a JUCO.
Okay.
So, and that's where
junior college.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's where that comes into play. So I leave Northeastern, and at the time, Willie Booker. I don't know if you remember Willie Booker, but he used to be RCC's basketball coach back in the day. He was the head coach out at Mercer Junior College in Trenton, New Jersey.
Right.
And so he. Through him and Miss Harris was part of the process to get me there too. They said, listen, man, we get you out here to Mercer in New Jersey, man. Get your thing together, get your stuff right, and let's go from there. And that's what I did. And I went out there, tore it up, man. Did well with my grades, did well on the basketball court. Junior college All-American, man.
Wow.
And now here comes Villanova. Villanova's, on my back. You know what I'm saying? Villanova wants me to be their point guard. They had Gary McLean there at the time. You know what I'm saying? Funny story is that
Gary's who played in the
Worcester.
shootout.
Yeah, he played in the shootouts, but he's from Worcester.
Got you. I remember him.
But anyways, I'm all set to go to Villanova, man. And, this is year 84. But my son is born that summer, man, and now I make here's another choice. Like, you know what I'm saying? All right, do I go on and, I should have just went to Villanova and dealt with my son from afar or whatever. But, me being Google-eyed over his mom at the time, my girlfriend at the time, I'm going to stay home, help her out, blah, 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 not go to school, you know what I'm saying? And that was my last time being in college. I didn't take that off to go to Villanova, and they win the national championship that year.
Wow!
They beat Georgetown. Remember that great Georgetown Patrick Ewing team? They weren't supposed to win.
Right.
They beat Georgetown that year.
And you would have been a national champ. Wow.
Yeah.
See? But anyway,
Yeah.
fast forward, I just want to get right into, like, you're at Northeastern, you go to Mercer Junior College, All-American, so you're still getting the smooth, the legend, right?
Yeah,
and all this glamour.
It's building up.
And you're like, wow.
Yeah. And at the same time, while all this is going on around me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm, back then, like I said, I didn't know not anything about addiction, you know what I'm saying? That monkey on my back is growing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still getting, still sniffing a little coke here and there, you know what I'm saying? Boom. And whatnot, So after I don't go to Villanova, you know what I'm saying? I'm playing in some, semi-pro leagues here and there. I do a little stint over in Milan, Italy for a little while, make some money there.
So that was professional bowling.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I'm pro. I'm
Wow.
I'm basically pro right now. You know what I'm saying? Not NBA pro, but I'm pro. Playing on some pro circuits. I'm playing in a Chicago Pro-Am League.
Wow.
I went against the real Isaiah Thomas, Zeke. I went against Zeke, Tim Hardaway out there in Chicago, man.
You know what? Let me tell you. So you bring it back memories. Because when we grew up, everybody was good.
Yeah.
JVs were good. Yeah. Now it's like these guys, they're on social media and everything, and they get the exposure, but they're not. They don't even come to practice.
Right.
They didn't. Anyway, I just had to slide that in.
Yeah, no doubt. So I'm killing all the leagues here in Boston. And then I went to it was a trial for the Albany Patroons. That's the CBA. And I went up there, did well. You know what I'm saying? There was a handful of NBA scouts there. And so my agent at the time was Frank Catapano. I don't know if you remember Frank. Big Frank.
Him
Frank.
and Leo.
Yeah, Leo. That whole crew. Yeah.
They really had you, huh?
Yeah, Frank. Yeah, Frank was my agent. And then opportunity came along, you know what I'm saying, where Philadelphia, they needed a point guard, man. And Frank got me an invite to the rookie free agent camp. Just rookies and free agents was going to be there at the camp, you know what I'm saying? But, it was kind of like a deal that he worked out for me on the table, whereas, you know what I'm saying, you just got to show up, Greg. Greg, you show up, you'll be the backup point guard to Maurice Cheeks.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, really? And he said, listen, they're going to give you a little money, you know what I'm saying? There's a little signing bonus too, you know what I'm saying? So, well, they gave me like about 60,000, you know what I'm saying? Like a little signing bonus thing, you know what I'm saying?
So 60,000, like, was it like in a suitcase, a brown bag?
Yeah, it was pretty much cash, bro. Cash.
Are you kidding me?
Listen, let me tell you, man. This is how it was going down back then, man. So,
okay,
I'm ecstatic, man. I said, this is it. This is my shot. I've made it.
60 grand in cash.
Yeah. All I got to do is show up to camp, you know what I'm saying, and do what I do. And so, of course, I call up some of my mans and them, you know what I'm saying. Listen, man, we going out tonight. We celebrating, man, you know what I'm saying. I'm on my way. Boom. So we go out, hang out at this club downtown. I forget what club it was, but it was a wild night of drinking, man, everything. And so now, at this time, like I said, I'm living a double life. I'm hustling, you know what I'm saying? For some of the money I made overseas, I've been putting, in the drug game with some of my family, you know what I'm saying? So,
right.
We're selling crack, you know what I'm saying? This is nothing I'm proud of. We're selling crack, you know what I'm saying? All that, you know what I mean? And I'm curious this whole time, why is people keep coming back for this high? And so that night, when I go out, I tell my man, listen, drop me off. I'm going over this girl's house, man, and basically lied to him and had him drop me off at a crack house, man.
So you're carrying around all this money?
Yeah, I got all the money in my pocket, Ron, in my pockets.
Was it in $1,000 bills? How many? No.
Mostly hundreds. Mostly hundreds. You know what I'm saying? And so I get to this crack house, man, and Ron, let me tell you, man, I started getting high, man. I started smoking, man, and next thing I know, I think I was in a cocaine psychosis or something, man. I got stuck. I got stuck. This is on Friday night, Ron. I'm in this crack house, and I'm getting high, and I'm giving a lot of money away. I'm just doing dumb stuff, man, and
Like being the man.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but
Wow.
I have no control of what's going on, man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even think about that I got to be on a flight Monday morning going to Philadelphia for this camp. And I miss my flight, everything. Like, I come out of this fog probably about, my flight was like around 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. I come out of this fog Monday about maybe 2:30, 3 o'clock. Finally just get up, for some reason, get up and I walk out the house with only about maybe 15 grand left in my pocket. And I'm devastated, man. And you know, back then we didn't have.
Was it
we didn't,
smoking, sniffing, everything? Was it?
yeah. We were smoking and sniffing, but I was gone. And back then we didn't have cell phones. You know, we had pagers. So my pager had been going off the whole 2 days. Like, you know, I can see my mom, my dad, my agent, my brothers, everyone's calling, but I'm not calling nobody back. I'm so obliviated
And paranoid.
yeah, all that. You know what I'm saying? Knowing I messed up. And yeah, so that's how I blew that opportunity, man, to get to the league, man. You know, a lot of people, you know, didn't know that, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I decided to come out, you know. For a long time, it was hard for me to talk about it, man, because, you know, that was my lifelong dream, man. And, you know, still, you know, I get a little emotional talking about it now, you know. I just want to tell, you know, before I go on, I just want to tell the listeners, you know, I'm not doing this for likes, for hearts, you know what I'm saying? You know, this ain't, you know, I'm trying to help somebody. I'm trying to help some young person.
That's real
I'm trying
good.
to help anybody, man, you know, to understand that, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, even like in today's, you know, with the drugs that are out there today, like, that's not a lifestyle you don't want to live, man. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, I wasn't educated about it back then, but I know a lot about it now because I work in the field now. I do a lot of, you know, I've done a lot of work in the field. You know, so I'm not looking for no sympathy or empathy from anybody, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I made these choices. I know what I did, you know what I'm saying? My motto is life is about choice, not chance. You know, I own it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And it landed me, you know what I'm saying, because of my drug addiction, you know what I'm saying, it cost me 14 years of my life in the penitentiary too.
So thank you for sharing that, man. I think that's important. That's why when I read your snapshot of your life on Instagram, I was like, man, I got to get this brother in because a lot of folks need to hear this message because it's very important because you may be out there going through something. You may have had the likes, the loves, the hearts. You may have had the notoriety and everything, but I'm glad that Greg has taken time out of his schedule. Actually, he took today off. Just want to make that clear. He took today off to come to see little old me at my first broadcast back. So thank you for doing that. So in the penitentiary, you're locked up. You was a star athlete, baller, right? All American, all scholastic, won the state. You got all this notoriety. You hit rock bottom. I would say. Thank God you're alive.
No doubt.
Right.
No doubt. Definitely.
So you're in the penitentiary.
Yeah. So, you know, again, after, you know, that devastating loss of my opportunity to play in the league, man, I kind of went in a hole, man. You know, smoking cocaine, smoking crack, your money goes fast, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't the type of addict that sat around and, you know, asked anybody for anything, begged for anything, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, here's some more bad choices, you know what I'm saying? I decided, you know what I'm saying, put a gun in my waist and go around the city and state and rob, you know, Christie Markets, you know what I'm saying? A nickname that I was given when I was caught, the Christie Bandit. One of the nicknames I'm not proud of, I'm not happy about, you know, and I wish I wasn't associated with it, but again, choices. So yeah, I get locked up, and my former history teacher at Madison, Earl Howard, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Earl Howard, man, came and he saw, because it was front page news. He saw it in the paper that I got arrested. The luck of the Christie Bandit runs out, and he showed up at my arraignment because I was going to get a public defender, and he's like, nope, I'm Earl Howard, attorney Earl Howard. I'm going to represent Mr. Simpson. I was like, what? Earl, where you come from? But anyways, he represented me, man. I ended up, I did 2 separate bids. So on that Christie's, stick-up thing that I was doing.
Let's talk about that, because we didn't really get into that, because that's what really got me. I said, I know this guy. Mm-hmm. Greg Simpson, like the baller, right?
Right. People couldn't believe it, right?
The Christie's Bandit.
Yeah.
There used to be a Christie's in there in Mission Park.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I robbed that one.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
What was going through your mind?
Rob, I mean, Ron, it's just like in the movie New Jack City when Pookie said, "It's calling me."
Yeah.
It was calling me, bro. It's straight like that. It was calling me, man. Like I had no control of it. It was that addictive, that strong, that I was just running up in these stores, man, and just taking money, man. You know what I'm saying? Not caring about, people.
Was that during the night after you went through that whole?
No.
This is later on.
Later on, once I got myself off the pity pot. You know what I'm saying? I had to. I'm full blown addicted now. You know what I'm saying? So I had to support my habits. So I wasn't. I couldn't sell drugs because I was using it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just was sticking up and robbing, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said. Because of that, you know what I'm saying, I went away for 7 to 10 years. I got for them armed robberies, and did most of my time in Norfolk, man. And tell anybody, like, I seen some of the toughest guys in the penitentiary, man. Like, it's not a happy place, man. It's a dark place, man. I couldn't never in a million years think I would ever go to prison, man. I didn't come through the DYS system or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, my father worked for the courts. You know what I'm saying? So how you think he felt when I was coming through them courtrooms, man? It broke his heart. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah. So
and you was a good guy.
Yeah.
But I just want folks to understand this brother was a good brother. I mean, like, and you still a good brother, right?
Yeah.
But it's just that choices you made had caused you a NBA career. Mm-hmm. No wonder you're a Boston Celtic fanatic. Because I know you probably saying to yourself, that could have been me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. When I would watch the games now and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? I think about what if. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If I could have made the different choices, man. You know what I'm saying? There's no doubt in my mind. I know I could have played in the league. There's no doubt in a lot of experts' minds either. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I'm not crying over spilt milk, Ron. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Right.
Now I'm just trying to use my journey, my story. You know what I'm saying, to help someone else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about for me today, man. Even when I did my time in penitentiary, they had some serious leagues in the penitentiary, man. They was trying to build super teams to take me down. I won 6 straight championships up in Norfolk, man. You know what I'm saying?
What did y'all get? Y'all get trophies?
Oh, nah, we get T-shirts, man, and cookouts and all that. You know what I'm saying? And, it was something to do, man. But one thing I can say, man. You know what I'm saying? Going through that experience, being in the Department of Correction, man, I grew up. Mm-hmm. Grew up fast, you know what I'm saying? I went in at 24 years old, maybe like 3 months shy of my 25th birthday. And, there's some guys that are still there that, you know what I'm saying, that are never coming home, man. You know what I'm saying? If you can come home and out of that experience, there's some guys that got out recently, man. A lot of my, good guys, man, that got out recently. I won't say no names, but, they know who they are, you know what I'm saying? That deserve to be out here, got that shot, man. Some guys ain't getting that shot, man.
Right. Man, I really appreciate you coming in, man, and sharing your story. And we're going to be taking calls, 617-282-0685. We have Greg the Smooth Simpson here in the studio here at Boston Black News. We're really excited about this weekend. Father's Day weekends. We ask people to call, and your name may have been called. I'm thinking about you, right? I seen the video when you played down the fence. You was like, shoom, right? And I said, I never really played against you. When we played, I said, Dickerson, you get him. I said, Dickerson. Because Bishop Dickerson.
Yeah.
He's strong.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So I had to play against that.
And he played that D, too.
He played that D, right? We all played D.
Yeah, no doubt.
Me and him used to work out, right?
No doubt.
But and one time I do remember playing on the same team as you. I had just got back from Cheney, and we were in the Tiny Archibald League in what was it? Rutgers University.
It was Fordham University.
Fordham University.
But it was for
and
the
you
Rutgers
was
League.
killing.
Yeah.
You was killing them, right?
Yeah.
And then I had to take the last shot. We were down 1.
Yeah.
With 3 seconds left,
Right.
and I hit it, and you got MVP. I was like, good. At least my boy got MVP.
Yeah.
You think you would have got it if I'd hit them shots, man?
No, Ronnie. You know, because
we played against some dude.
Listen,
who's on that team?
I'm gonna tell you what happened. If you don't recall, the week before we played that same team at the Shelburne.
Right.
Tiny Nate Archibald brought them to the Shelburne.
Right.
To the Shelburne, and Pearl Washington was on that team. Pearl Washington was on that team, and so what happened was, I want to be fresh out. Oh my God, I want to have a nice haircut. You know what I'm saying? Nice sneakers, everything. I go get a haircut, but I'm late getting to the game at the Shelburne.
Right.
Y'all are already in the warm-up lines, warming up, and y'all are warming up, and so I got a ritual I got to go through. So I don't do my ritual properly. I have a terrible game. Pearl tears me up in my city. I'm mad.
Right.
I'm hot.
Right.
Nate takes us back up to that Fordham University Rutgers League the following week, and I give Pearl 39-13 or something like that. Crazy. Take home a 12-foot trophy.
Was bigger than me. That was a big trophy, man. You still get all them trophies? We didn't give them away now,
No,
auction them off?
they're all at my mom's house.
Okay, that was a big trophy. We have callers calling in, and I just man, them were good days. Them were really good days. Yeah. Caller, you're live on Boston Black News. Caller.
Chris Sumner, hello, my brothers.
Hey, what's up, Chris?
Oh man, my big bro, man.
Hey, Chris, I have to say this. I know you called in, but I have to say that was a very good article in the Banner Jimmy Myers did on you. And as Greg is sitting here telling me his story, because, when I read about, his snapshot of his life, the 6-part series he got on Instagram, for those who haven't seen it, you got to read that. Please do so. But, Chris, I just want to give you a shout out for that. Man, we all have a story to tell.
So true. It's funny hearing both of you, who I've competed against and hung out with. I was wondering, because most people don't know that Greg played hockey, and he was really good at it.
Yeah.
I also play hockey.
Yeah. I played street hockey. Did y'all ice skate?
I ice skate.
I did ice skate.
Yeah.
I couldn't ice skate. I was the street hockey.
No, it started with street hockey,
okay.
but I have played ice.
Okay. Well, anyway, go ahead.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, they used to call me Cadillac the way I skated.
But
didn't know quite what that meant. But one of the questions I asked, I remember as we would play together, there was such an innocence that was so manifested in our days, and oftentimes as athletes, people take that innocence away, especially when we get into those wrong decisions. And I was wondering, Greg, as you went through your journey, was celebrating as an athlete and so forth and so on, were there services out there and people out there that saw Greg the scholar, saw Greg the humanitarian? Because there are a lot of things that people don't know that you were doing, working at camps and yada, 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 that were just totally missed in the landscape of black male ballers, because we're only viewed as these war competitors. We really actually loved each other, and were very community in our approach to things. We could play at the Madison Park, play at English, play at the Lee School, Mission Hill.
Right.
And I'm wondering if you both could even just speak on that, because there was such an innocence back in that day that I think we get robbed of
Yeah.
by, white saviorisms and so forth and so on.
Right. I'll take a crack at it first, Chris. Back then in that time, you know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I didn't know much about addiction, and there were minimal services available. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I could be wrong. It probably was a lot of service available, but wasn't available to us. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not again not crying over spilt milk. You know what I'm saying? Because as I said, I own my stuff, and maybe I should have worked a little harder at trying to get them services for myself. But as I said, it was hard where I just I don't know, when it happened, when I finally realized it was happening, I was just like, wow, how did this happen to me? You know what I'm saying? But again, you know what I'm saying? I fought, a long time, with it, man. You know what I'm saying? To get this thing off me and off my back and out of my life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm at a place now, like I said, like I decided to, work in the field and help people, man, and like, through my story, through my journey, you know what I'm saying, and just try to, put my best foot forward into, giving back and helping someone.
Yeah, I just to echo with Greg, ditto to that, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's why I'm doing this, to really show the other sides of black men, and this happened to be Father's Day weekend. The black male has been attacked in many ways, and we are always labeled as athletes, rappers, and so forth, right? And that's fine and well if that's your gift, if that's your calling. But there are so many other ways that we have helped each other. Like, for instance, when you go to some of these football games, the Pee-wee football games and basketball games, you see fathers. I got to give a shout out to T. Richards, who's doing an outstanding job with the no books, no ball,
yeah,
right? I think that's very important, that we have black male role models, and the importance of us highlighting that in the media. And a shout out to Pastor Bruce Wall for starting this station, Boston Black News, Boston Praise Radio and TV 102.9 FM. It's so important what we highlight. So thanks again, Chris, for calling. We have another caller on the line. Thanks, brother. And you and I have to talk about some voter turnout stuff. God bless you, man.
God bless.
My man.
Caller, you're live on Boston Black News.
Yes, hey, Ron.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Dickinson.
I know, because you sound like me. Or I sound like you.
Oh, man.
Hey, listen,
I got all my guys calling.
Hey, Greg, I'm proud of you, man, that you can share your story to help others that might be going through some situations with addiction and other types of struggles in life.
Yeah.
And Greg and I go way back. To elementary school. I was in elementary school level with his brother. He's a little younger than me. But his brother Bill and I was in the same class. I think it was the Dennis Haley.
Yep. See, this is when I lived in Mattapan. This is when I lived in Mattapan. I'm telling you.
Okay. Go ahead, Bishop.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And so I know it's tough being able to share it. Don't allow yourself to be consumed by what didn't happen, but recognize that God has you here for a purpose, and you're able to reach others. And like Chris Sumner said, there's some great things that you have done in the city that you could build upon and help point people in the right direction. So just continue to look up and don't be defeated by the past. And like many people use their tests, their trials, their tests becomes their testimony. And so I just encourage you to just draw closer to the Lord each and every day, and thank God that you're alive to be able to tell the story, because many are not even here to tell the story that they had, that many were in a similar situation, very close to the NBA, very close to a big breakthrough and milestone in their lives, and they fell short. But continue to keep your head up, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, man. I
appreciate
you.
Man.
Before I leave, I want to ask you one quick question. This is something that bothers me.
Go ahead.
As somebody that came so close to making NBA,
Yeah.
how do you feel about the modern NBA, how it's played today, the style of basketball that's played today? What's your commentary? Because a lot of people comment that never was good basketball players. You know, and Stephen A. Smith, they were scrubs.
Yeah.
And they always want to comment on different athletes.
Man, I tell you, man, Pastor, man. It's crazy, man, because, you know, we come from an era, man, where, you know, you had to work for it, man. You had to work for it, the work ethic and all that, man. These kids today, like, don't get me wrong, they probably are more talented than us, you know, or, you know, more athletic stuff than us. Well, I wouldn't even say more.
I was going to say.
I wouldn't even say more athletic.
Right.
I just more talent.
But they also have equipment, too.
But here's the thing. We practice 6 days a week before we played a game. They're playing 6 games in a day. You know what I'm saying? That's all they do. They want to just play a game, but they're not working for it. They're not working for it, Pastor. I take our era of basketball over this era any day. I just still love the game, and that's why I watch it. But we'd kill these kids, you know what I'm saying? Put us in our prime against these kids, we'll kill these kids.
Well, you know, Bishop, I don't know if you was tuning in earlier. We had mentioned your name because I told him every time we played against Greg, I said, Bishop, you get him. We were talking about how you did it. Remember that time? He was like, Jimmy, get off of me, man. Get off of me. Anyway, thanks for calling in, man. Appreciate you.
All right. I appreciate the work you're doing, Ron. Keep it up, man. And Greg, appreciate you and proud of you, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Love you back.
Caller, you're live on Boston Black News.
Good morning, gentlemen. Ron, welcome back. This is Brother Eric Kennedy.
Hey, what's up, Eric?
Good to have you back. Greg, man, I knew of you. I'm from Boston as well and never knew that story. And I'm like sitting here and like stunned.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's brothers like us that make it through, and I'm glad you're out of that situation and into a new one. Mm-hmm. And anything I can do to assist you, just, you know, reach out to the radio station. Ron knows how to get in touch with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have one question. Yeah. With the bonus you got with it, were you required to pay that back?
Nah, man, they kind of just said, man, don't worry about the money, man. Just get your life in order.
You still have any left?
Nah.
No, because I can hold it for you.
Yeah. It was kind of like one of them deals. Like it actually, you know what I'm saying, had no paper trail to it. You know what I'm saying? It was just kind of like, you know, here's this. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry, just show up to camp. We got you. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. You know, a lot of people don't. This was Dr. J. This was going to be Dr. J's last year. It was Charles Barkley's 3rd year. And that's the team, you know, that 87 team I would have been on, you know what I'm saying? I think they won the title in 83. Yeah, I think they won the title in 83. But, no, it wasn't required to give it back, man. They just kind of washed their hands, you know, and says, you know, okay, didn't work.
Yeah. Thanks, Brother Eric. We have Greg Smooth Simpson in the studio this morning. It was really good talking to you, brother. Mm-hmm. And it's important that you continue to share this story. We're on 30-plus platforms. We're going to be shooting this out through our social media outlets so people can hear this story because it's so important. There are people out there struggling with addiction. People are struggling in life.
Right.
And they make bad choices.
Yeah.
And what's your mantra again?
Life is about choice, not chance.
Life is about choice, not chance. Boston Black News, make sure you tune in every Friday at 8 a.m. I'm back, y'all, right here, Common Square, 351 cities and towns, 24 and counting neighborhoods in the city of Boston. I'll see you next week. Take care. God bless you, and may heaven smile upon you.
If you're wanting, you're waiting, you're hoping, I know you're praying that those policing us racial profiling us. Please stop killing black men, women, and children. Stop complaining. Shut up. Take action. Stand. We need satisfaction. Don't just run your mouth. If you wanna change it, don't vote. If you wanna rearrange it, don't vote. Instead of running your mouth and complaining, don't vote. We ain't got much time left remaining. Don't vote. Come on.
Eric Garner, an unarmed black man, a father and husband, forced to the ground, telling police 11 times during all of this that he could not breathe. He later died. Tonight, a big question being asked: if the medical examiner determined this was a homicide, why no charges?
People across the country are still asking the question how one woman went from being pulled over for a routine traffic violation